Hello and welcome again. This is Pete the Tech Guy, and we are here for another edition of Interviews with Immigrants, our series of interviews where we interview people who have come to the United States from other countries about where they've come from, why they've come, and how things have been here. And our latest person is Lucine. I'm pronouncing that right, correct? And you're from the Cape Verde Islands. Now, the Cape Verde Islands, they're just off of Northern Africa, right?
Yeah,
And that's where you were born and raised? How many years did you live there?
since 2009.
All right. I won't ask what year you were born, so since I've been married long enough to know not to ask that question. So you grew up there,
Yeah.
and you came to the U.S. in what year again? Was it 2009 that you came here, or was it sooner that you came here? When did you come to the United States?
No, I'm at United States since 2 years.
So you've been here. It's 2018 now, so you've been here since 2016. Now, tell me a little bit about the Cape Verde Islands. I mean, it's off, again, I know that it's off of Africa, and I know that it never gets below 50-something degrees, which is a lot different than what it is here in Massachusetts. What was life like in the Cape Verde Islands?
Cape Verde, how I can tell you, it's a small island. We are a republic too, so it's a 10 island. So we are the simple people. I don't know, the tropical people.
Well, let me put it another way. Your family is all from the Cape Verde Islands, right?
They are in Cape Verde.
Are you the only one in America at the moment?
Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up there. I mean, what was life like? I mean, which island did you live on out of the 10? What was the name?
Mayo.
And is Mayo the biggest island, the smallest island, somewhere in between?
No, it's a small island, not too much far from the Praia. It's the capital.
Praia is the capital?
Yeah.
So you lived not far from the capital. Did you live in the city itself, or did you live outside the city?
I live outside the city.
Now, was it very different outside the city than inside? What was normal life like in Cape Verde Islands?
So it's like, how I can tell you, we do the fish, and I don't know how to tell you. Sorry.
So let me rephrase. What did your family do for work? What kind of work was in Cape Verde besides fishing, obviously, from what you're saying, because you're islands?
Yeah. I don't know what does mean in English. That's the problem.
So it's, again, I do apologize. I know you've only been here a couple of years. Well, your English is very good for someone who's been here 2 years. Now, when you were in the Cape Verde Islands, what did you hear about America? What did you know about America while you were there?
We see in the TV shows the America. So when we grew up in Africa, it's a dream to come to USA.
Why is it a dream to come to the USA?
We imagine a lot of things. It's a big city. I don't know. We imagine a lot of things. It's like a dream, how I tell you.
Now, Cape Verde, the language is Portuguese. So you came here 2 years ago, and you're working now. How long have you been working here in America? Did you come? You came here on a work visa. You came here. How did you end up finding a job after you came here?
It was easy because I come with a little bit English, so it is not too much difficult to find a job.
Now, did you learn your English at school? Did you study it yourself while you were in the Cape Verde Islands when you were thinking about coming to America?
Yeah, I study English over there and in Africa too, because I go to university
And where was the university you went to?
in Senegal.
In Senegal. So you're from the Cape Verde Islands. You went to the university in Senegal. What did you study in Senegal?
Architecture.
So you studied architecture. So there's people. Now it's funny. I talked to a lot of people. I studied computer science. You studied architecture. Maria, who I interviewed earlier, studied accounting. Alvin studied computer science as well. So a lot of different people. So you studied that in Senegal. You thought about coming to America. What did you see yourself doing once you came to America? What was the plan? Was the plan for yourself, for your whole family to come eventually? Was it to earn enough money to bring them, or?
So I come here for my school. I wanna take my diploma from here.
So you want to go to school here and get a degree?
Yeah.
Now, are you looking to get a degree in architecture like you had at Senegal?
Yes.
Okay, so you come here from the Cape Verde Islands. You've been to Senegal, you've been to the Cape Verde Islands. You've only seen America from TV. You come here. Did you land in Boston? Did you come into New York? Where did you come first?
New York.
New York City. And how long were you in New York City?
I stay over there 1 month. Yeah.
And now you're in Massachusetts. You live in Brockton now, the land of Rocky Marciano, the famous boxer.
Yeah.
And when did you move to Brockton?
Since 1 year, I think around 1 year.
So you were in New York for a month. Brockton, you've been there for the last year. Where were you in between?
At Boston.
All right. So you've seen New York's, which is the biggest city in the United States. You saw Boston, which is a smaller city but hates New York. And you've seen Brockton, which is a much smaller city. Was America what you expected it to be?
Seriously, it's not like I was expected before come here.
And how do I say it? Did the television kind of oversell America? Like America's this, America's that, but it's still, you got to work, you got to make a living, and so forth.
No, not only because work. No, I don't know. I was expected a lot, and it's not like I was thinking. It's USA. It's the first country in the world, so I saw a lot of homeless. I saw a lot of.
Is this in New York or in Boston or in Brockton?
Both.
So you saw more problems here than you expected. You didn't expect to see any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you're working here, and you're here while you're going to school. Have you started school yet?
No, I will start in September.
Okay, and will you be working full time and going to school, juggling that?
I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. But the only thing I know, my school first.
Now, did you have a boyfriend in the Cape Verde that was going to come, or thinking of coming, or did you have other family that you were bringing, or is that the plan? Or
yeah, I want to bring my family, especially my mom and my sister.
Now, if America wasn't what you expected, because some of the things you saw, you still want to bring your mother and sister here, and why would that be?
Yeah, it's not like I was expected, but it's better than in my country because we are a small country, so a lot of problem too. But here in USA, you can solve the problem, but I don't know. You have all times the solution. So in Cape Verde, it's difficult because when you finish your school, you don't have work to do. So you should be at home. Stay with mom, and mom give you all things. I don't know.
Okay, I understand what you're saying there. Now, you talked about what America was. Now, obviously, from what you said, what surprised you the most was, seeing that there was poverty here as well as you saw at home. What was were there Americans themselves? Now, obviously, you work with a lot of people from a lot of different countries. In this table there alone, there's people born in 3 different countries, not counting myself, who was born here in America. How have Americans like myself who were born here reacted to you? How have you found them? Were they the same as you expected them to be? Were they different than what you expected them to be?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Okay. Now, you had in your head, let me try and rephrase it. In your mind, you thought of this is how America is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm wondering, did you have a thought of this is how an American person is? And now you've met people from all over the world here, but you've also met Americans, people who were born here. Were people who were born here what you expected them to be? Were they nicer? Were they stranger? Were they meaner? I mean, how were they compared to what's the image in your head of what they were going to be like?
I think they are nice people. Since I come here, I didn't have problem with the people. Doesn't matter if it's American, Spanish. I just find the nice people. So I have love to tell about this.
Now, do you live in an area where there's a lot of other people from the Cape Verde Islands?
Yeah, in Brockton we are a lot of.
So that must help a lot because obviously you have a large community, so you have your own culture and you have American culture, and you can assimilate as whatever your pace is. Is it easier for you because you have your culture here?
Yeah, I think that's the thing, because for me easy because around my house I have Cape Verdean people, I have Asian people, I have American people, but they are the good people, the nice person. So.
Now, when you talk to other people from Cape Verde who are here in America, do they talk about, well, I'm going to try and earn some money and then go home? Or do they say, I want to live here, I want to get a family here and so forth? Is that how people react? Or is it a mix?
I think it's mix. Some people tell, no, I will not stay for long and go back to my country. Some people tell, no, I want to stay here because here we have more chance to be someone. So it's mixed, yeah.
And has that been the reaction you've gotten from? You said you live near Asians and Spanish and all the others. Have you gotten that reaction from everyone else around you too? Do they think? Is there a mix? Some, oh, I want to stay here, or oh, I want to go home, or oh, I want to earn money and then go home.
Yeah. Some people tell, okay, I want to get more money and go back. Some people tell, no, I want to stay here. So it's mixed, I think.
Now, have you had a chance to save money for the college and save money for the things you want? I mean, obviously you've been working here since you've got here, and you're like in your early to mid 20s, I would guess. I'm not gonna try and guess your age because I've been married long enough to know not to do that. But how long do you figure you're going to have to save to do the things you want to do? How many years do you figure you're going to have to work?
I don't know, because architecture school here it's very, very expensive. So I don't know for how long years I should be save money. But it's the thing I want to do, and I will do it.
I love that idea. I will do it. And it's got to be. When you came here, now, did you come with? I think I may have asked this before, but I'm going to ask it again. Did you come with? Was a group of you who came together, or did you just come yourself and saying, "Oh, I have relatives here, or friends here, so I'm going to go and see those friends"? Was it a group that came at once that already had work, or did you come just yourself?
No, my father lives here.
Your father lives here.
Yeah. He's in Florida, so he give me the I don't know how does mean in English, because he have nationality, so he give me and I come here.
All right. Now, Florida's 3,000 miles away. I mean, well, no, 2,000 miles away. So, any particular reason why you decided to come up north instead of in Florida where your father was?
Personal.
Okay, we won't get into that. Now, one of the things that I've noticed, because when we were at the other building, I remember when a big group of Cape Verde Islands people came, and then winter came. Now, when you've lived in a country where the coldest it got was 50 degrees, and we had a very cold winter. How was your reaction to the winters here?
Oh my God, it's too much difficult, because my country it's all time summer. All time. We are a tropical island, so we never see the snow like this. So you can see it's all time difficult for us the snow.
I wish you could see her face right now. It's the face of all the people I've interviewed. I've only had one person who say they like the snow. Everybody else, they can't stand the snow. They don't want it. They don't want the snow. They don't want it anywhere near the snow. So that's you. You are not looking. So this summer hasn't been so bad. It's been very hot for me. I've been very hot the last couple of weeks, but the last few weeks it must not be as bad for you.
No, it's not bad. I like snow, but it's difficult because we come when in the for example my country. It's how I say it's all time summer. So you change. It's difficult because you come to in one country you have a lot of sun, and you come in another country you have a lot of cold. So it's difficult for us. But
now, when you came to now, you've been here for a couple of years. Now, was there anything you saw when you saw it for the first time in America? You just looked at it and said, "Wow, look at that!" I mean, that was something like something that just took your breath away when you saw it.
yeah, when I come to New York, I am always in love with New York. I saw New York in TV, this thing, and when I was there, it's like a dream come true. It's beautiful city, and I don't know explain to you how I feel when I come, but it's a good thing. I was in love, in love, in love.
But still, you left New York. Was it because New York was expensive, or was it because you didn't? There wasn't the Cape Verde Island people there, or you ended up coming to Boston, which Boston and New York don't get along.
No, because I had a friend at New York. That's why I stay. It's not I come here for stay in New York. No, I just stay a couple days because I had a friend over there. But really, really, I come to Brockton. I had more family over there. That's why.
Now, again, you're living in Brockton. You're in a community with the Cape Verde Islands, and you see us Americans. Now, is there anything about Americans who were born in America that you look at and you say, that's very strange? That sometimes you just look at us and say, I wonder why they do that. Is there something that we do that you look at and you say, that's strange to me?
Yeah. How I can explain to you? So, in my street, we have Asian people, we have Cape Verdean people, we have American people. So, in our country, when you live in one street with another people, you communicate, stay in the street, you talk a little bit. But here, no. I saw the American people don't say hi, this thing, but it's not. I don't know how.
I know what you mean, because it actually used to be like that in America 50, 60 years ago. It was very common. I mean, to have people, everybody in the street knew each other. But ever since computers, it's been a little bit different, and cable TV, it's been a little bit different. If you were to say to somebody, let's say you must have friends back at Cape Verde Islands who ask, "What is America like? Should I come?" If there's a piece of advice you would give to a friend in the Cape Verde Islands thinking of coming to America, to say, make sure you do this, what piece of advice would you give them?
He must be very, very, very strong, because here we need to fight for life. I don't know, it's only for our people, or it's everybody, because in our community we don't have family. It's like you come here, okay, you go fight for your life. You don't have family, you don't have friends, so you should be very, very, very strong and stay focused on what you want to do here, because it's not easy.
So it's you like the place, but it's not an easy place, because you have to work hard and fight to get what you want. Now, again, we talked about Americans. If there was a piece of advice you would give to Americans, just Americans who were born here, what piece of advice would you give after, now you've watched us for 2 years. Is there a piece of advice you would give to Americans to say, you know, Americans, you should think about doing this?
I don't know. Seriously, I don't know.
That's all right. That's all right. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything we've missed. So, obviously, again, you're in a large Cape Verde community. You have obviously the Cape Verde food and so forth, and the Cape Verde culture. American food. What American foods have you decided you really like, and what American foods do you look at and say, how can Americans eat this?
Yeah, that's the thing. The American people I saw eat only fast food. Basically fast food, pizza, hot dog, this thing. Now in our country, our food is strong, very strong. You have rice, you have lot of things in your plate. So when I go to our American friend's house, it's only pizza, this thing, soda, a lot of soda. So in our country we eat more natural things.
So our diet is well. I shouldn't talk about my diet. I take one. I like to cook. I got a butcher shop near my house, so I cook a lot myself. But you're right. Americans, we're fast food people. Fast. Do you think we should just slow down a little bit sometimes?
Yeah. For kids, special for kids. Because I saw in my house, I have a niece.
How old is your niece?
10. When they come with pizza, we tell to her, we have pizza. Oh, it's a party. But when we cook our food, she don't want to eat. Because she grew up here, so it's difficult to put her to eat our food. I don't know, it's difficult for her, I think, but people should eat more natural things.
And I'm trying to think of anything else. We've talked about the food. We've talked about the thing. We have very little time because we got about 2 minutes left before we got to go. One last thing. Knowing what you know now, 2 years later, when you were getting ready to get on the plane or get on the boat, I don't know if you flew or came by boat. Knowing what you know now today, would you still get on the boat and come to America, or would you stay home?
Yeah, I come again because I love adventure. I love a lot do adventure, so I am not afraid to take a plane and go.
Now, do you plan on seeing other parts of the United States? Because New York and Boston and Brockton, that's a very small part of the country. Is huge. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of it here.
Yeah, I know, but I already go to Washington too. I know Washington too. I don't know. Maybe I will go in another.
Is there someplace special that you want to see that you haven't seen yet?
No, I don't think so.
I guess New York was the jewel for you.
Yeah. It's my dreams to know in New York.
All right, well, Lucine, I want to thank you so much. And we may just cut it off here because I think we really covered everything, although we might continue tomorrow. And again, thank you for your time and thank you for your answers. And we're glad to have you here in America.
With pleasure. Thank you.
And that was Lucine, again, from the Cape Verde Islands. And this was the 5th in our series of interviews with immigrants. We plan on doing several more interviews with people from all over the world, and then we're going to try and repeat some of the countries we've already covered. But if you like what you've heard, if you like the interviews with immigrants, please like the videos on YouTube. Please hit the tip jar because that pays for all the equipment. Well, this is Pete the Tech Guy saying thank you very much, and you take care.